Dennis Newson from Osnabrück, he's around. Yes. Dennis, do you have a webcam?
Yeah. I have a webcam, and there I am.
Excellent.
Okay.
Dennis.
In red.
If you, by the way, while Dennis is getting himself, if you go to my website, here's a little bit more advertising. That's www.thornburyscott.com. Can I type it in here?
I'll do it for you. God.
You'll see a photo of me and Dennis taken in a restaurant. I think it was last month in Cologne.
Yeah.
Are the talks links?
I've just come back from another trip to.
Yeah.
I've just come back from another trip to Germany. I've just been in Hamburg and Berlin, so I'm slightly confused. But yes, so Dennis and I were at a conference.
Oh, here we go.
Just last month. Dennis,
Yeah.
do you want to fire your question away?
Yes, we'll do. You well, hello first of all, Scott. You know that my question is slightly teasing, but there is a serious side to it as well. I've noted, and you've mentioned tonight, you're teaching an online MA. You've recently joined Twitter. At the moment, we're in a virtual round table. How do you feel about appearing in Second Life sometime? Presenting or teaching?
Is that an invitation, Dennis, or is that just asking my opinion?
Oh, definitely an invitation, but an opinion too.
Well, no, I mean, I'm game to do anything. I mean, actually, it's interesting that you mentioned Twitter. Twitter was completely new to me until about a week ago when I was having dinner with Jeremy Harmer here in Barcelona, who was here for a conference, and Jeremy was raving. He was twittering about Twitter, and he said, "No, you've got to try this. It's a great way of maintaining kind of informal links with your discourse community around the world, and it's very easy and it's free. And not only that, you can make a link onto your website so that your tweets appear from wherever you are." I thought the whole thing sounded terribly self-indulgent and rather frivolous until I had a look. In fact, it was partly your doing that got me to take it seriously, because I was looking at the IATEFL conference site and saw there that there was a Twitter, what do you call it, a Twitter site, and this seemed to be, again, quite a neat way of kind of drumming up interest in advance of the conference, all the people either who will be there or who can't be there, and letting them know about what's going on and other ways of keeping in touch. So I thought, well, yeah, there is a serious side to this. I'm certainly not averse to exploiting all possible means of creating links between people in my discourse community, apart from people my nearest and dearest. So Twitter, as I say, I've tried it. I made a link onto my website. I'm intrigued by it. I like the concision, the challenge of the concision. It's a bit like those mini sagas we get our students to write in the classroom. Write a short story in 50 words. Well, this is, write a summary of your latest article on English Teaching Professional in 140 characters. It's quite a challenge. And, I mean, it's a good one. It's a good exercise in concision. So yes, I mean, Twitter I'm sort of coming around to, definitely. Second Life, I'm willing to try it. I'm less, I must admit, my problem with Second Life is that it is Second Life, and I find this whole thing of hiding, as it were, behind an avatar slightly disconcerting. I mean, one of the things that originally attracted me to Dogma, going back to my question and in response to Orlando and Karen, was that what Dogma filmmakers were trying to do, their claims was that they wanted to rid of the people in the story. That is, to make the characters live and relate as real human beings and not be hidden behind a panoply of special effects. And I thought this is very much what I feel committed to in the classroom, in the language classroom, is to really get at what's going on, what the human beings in the room and what they can offer and how they interrelate. So I find Second Life a rather poor substitute for that, not least because it is everybody's in disguise. But I'm prepared to be dissuaded, Dennis. I don't know whether this is the forum to do that, but you obviously, and Dennis is an interesting case as being one of the more vocal members of the Dogma group and has been for a long time, and yet is also dabbling in all these other space-age technologies and doing it very comfortable with it. Dennis, do you want to justify your Second Life existence?
Quickly, if I can. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see you there in some capacity or other, really under the heading of, this is interesting, this is something that I don't know much about, let me try and see what happens, and it would be great to watch. You mentioned that what turns you off a bit is this hiding behind avatars. Actually, not everybody does. I have tried very hard, for example, to create an avatar that looks like me, and I think I've been fairly successful. I mean, it's a necessary part of whatever the inventors of Second Life had in mind. The avatar has become just a way. You have to have some way to embody your voice, because you do speak with your own voice, or can, and something has to embody that voice, and the avatar is what does it, and the avatar can sit up and stand, sit, fly, and do many other things as well. But yeah, a final sentence. The great thing about Second Life, and I hear all the arguments, especially in a place like Germany, I can't cope with my first life, and isn't that where you can find child pornographers, and all of those arguments. The fact is that Second Life can be used as a tool, a very sophisticated tool, for doing very serious things like running educational conferences, and there's one coming along fairly soon. Great. Thanks for letting me ask my question.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you so much. And of course, I'm always willing, as I say, to try new technologies, and particularly for teachers communicating with each other. I mean, I think that I do see an advantage there. I'm slightly more skeptical of the possibilities in terms of language learning. But then again, there are people who learn languages and have been learning languages using the most bizarre methods, and if they're motivated enough, it seems that anything is possible. So if they like Second Life and they are communicating in Second Life, Heike, come in.
Actually, the potential of language learning in Second Life is the very topic of the Avalon project, which has started beginning of this year, which has been conducted by 10 active partners, amongst which the University of Vienna, the University of Manchester, Gary Mottram is part of that, universities in Sweden, Norway, and Italy, the Camimo project. We have also Gavin Judeny on board as an advisor. We also have, there's a total of 26 partners, 11 of which are universities. And I'm very, very proud to be a partner of that project. And the fascinating thing about Second Life we find so far, and we're all delving into it. I mean, it's just a real experience just to try something new, as Dana said. Yeah. The most fascinating thing about Second Life is that there is very little possibility to use text. Now that is driving the teachers crazy, actually, because they cannot use text, and everybody goes, how can you learn language without text, And then think back the times, I mean, the whole idea of total immersion, how you learn a language by hearing the sounds all over the place, by seeing it, and by having your brain absorb the whole picture of it, so visual and oral, and what you call the vocal learning. If Dennis is the vocal member of the Dogma group, and this is what we're looking forward to experimenting with. We're also hoping that very soon we'll have this tool that allows many more people to enter Second Life without having to have a great graphics card, what have you. So Scott, you're all welcome. Once you've got your avatar ready, you're welcome and invited to Avalon Learning. And Dennis, do you mind if I give you privileges as a presenter? Would you mind clicking on the options button and uploading your image of Second Life in Second Life? We'd love to see that now that we saw you in real. Very good. So,